Are you a Mei player struggling against Zarya in Stadium? Pulling out your hair trying to get value against this pink-haired bubble monster? Look no further. Spooki's patented Armored Core Mei Build turns you into a powerful second tank. Get your Armored Core Mei Build today. Hey everyone, it's Spooki, and welcome to the ultimate round-by-round Stadium guide that'll turn you into Zarya's worst nightmare. Today's build is probably my most unique yet and provides Mei players with an option to match enemy Zaryas without feeling helpless in their Stadium matches. This video is split into two parts. First, I'm going to briefly go over a general roadmap for you to help select your abilities and powers during your Stadium match and explain why these selections work. Second, I've included two Stadium matches for you to watch to help you understand how to play with this build. I highly recommend watching these two matches as this build requires a more unconventional playstyle to be successful. As always, I've included a pocket guide for you in the description that is free to download. Make sure to drop a like and let's get on with the video.
Why does Mei have so much health, bro? What the hell is that?
The Armored Core Mei build is built around the function of armor and damage reduction. Armor in Overwatch 2 provides damage reduction in two ways. One, it reduces an instance of damage by 50% up to 7 damage. For example, if I'm Ashe and I shoot a scoped shot dealing 75 damage against an armored target, then I would do 68 damage instead. But if I'm Orisa and I'm shooting my fusion driver against that same target, my base damage of 14 would be reduced all the way to 7 per shot as long as they have armor. This is why armor is great against pellet damage instances like shotguns and high rate of fire guns, but weaker against piercing damage. And number 2, if it's a beam weapon, however, armor does a flat 30% reduction no matter how much damage. This includes Zarya's beam or even Mei's primary endothermic blaster. Now, before we move on to the guide, a quick note. This build inherently does not generate a lot of credits. Most of the value you'll get is by mitigating enemy damage, separating teams, and getting Zarya to waste her barriers, all of which do not generate credits. So do not be discouraged if you notice you have less credits than usual. This build has been adjusted to compensate for that. Round 1. Start things off strong by picking Frost Armor as your first power. Follow it up with Armored Vest, Charged Plating, and Plasma Converter. This combo loads you up with armor early on, and the lifesteal from Plasma help keeps that armor topped off. Your mission is to mirror the enemy Zarya. Stay close, pressure her, but do not shoot the bubbles. Seriously, your goal here is to bait her into wasting bubbles without giving her a single point of charge. Use your primary fire to avoid accidental overdamage. Round 2. Time to bulk up. Grab Vitality, and if you've got the credits, snag Crusader Hydraulics. That's more armor and a 10% damage reduction while armored. Round 3. Pick up Colder. This isn't for aggressive plays, it's your emergency exit. Your damage sponge, your way out of tight spots. Do not roll into enemies. We're still not feeding Zarya charge, remember? Now, grab Shield Buster to help melt Zarya's shields after her bubbles are gone. Yes, again, do not shoot bubbles. Also, swap Charge Plating out for Iron Eyes. This is going to help reduce crit shot damage. Round 4. Time to evolve. Replace Plasma Converter with Techno Leech for better sustain. Then sell off Armored Vest and grab Mei Sickle. Why? You get a longer Colder duration and more damage block. That's a win-win. Round 5. Select Twice as Ice. This gives you a second wall right after exiting Colder, making it even easier to escape or block damage. Time for some swaps. Mei Sickle is going to go to Lumerica Fusion Drive. This is going to give you more armor and passive healing to that armor. Then Shield Buster is going to go to Ogundemu Reduction Field. Zarya will make sure to keep you at your full damage reduction stack, and now you can 1v1 Zarya confidently. Keep playing your role. Bait bubbles, don't feed charge. Round 6. Sell Techno Leech and pick up Martian Mender. This gives you passive, consistent healing without relying on cooldowns or weapon lifesteal. You're a self-sustaining tank now. Round 7. One last upgrade to lock in your dominance. Grab Bliznado. This is going to increase our survivability during our ultimate. Swap out Iron Eyes for Divine Intervention. That's huge burst damage protection, especially against the insane damage builds the enemy is surely running. You bait bubbles, drug off hits, and 1v1 like a legend. And there it is. You're now a walking glacier of unkillable pain. Now for the fun part. Here are 2 all-star rank matches. One is a win and one is a loss. Let's talk through the Armored Core build and see how these play out. So we'll talk about everything as we go through, why we play it, what we do, what we're doing, because it's different than how you normally play Mei. If you're looking for like an easy, just turn off your brain kind of play Mei guide, this isn't the build you want to do. This one does take a little bit more active gameplay to play, but if you're struggling against Zarya, this is the build I recommend right now. Obviously, you know, as things change, I'll probably change this up a little bit, but right now we found that this is basically the only build I found that is decent against Zarya. It may not feel like it's good, but it's I'll explain why it is. So this build, you're gonna find you don't get as many credits as you would on other builds because we're not focusing on damage, right? We're just focusing on survivability and holding space against Zarya without charging up her bubbles. So my main goal as I'm playing this is to kind of exist, do damage where I can, but try to avoid charging up Zarya's bubbles as much as possible. So I use my primary a lot just because it's less burst damage, so I can stop firing quicker on the Zarya when she has her bubbles up and ready. Did a few little picks here. If I can get this Juno. There we go. We're farming up our armor here a little bit. So we're kind of looking to pressure the Zarya, but like really actively paying attention to the bubbles to make sure that we don't shoot any bubbles. Unless we're planning on killing something, don't shoot the bubbles. So you notice we invested very heavily into armor here early game. We got frost armor, which at max will give us 100 bonus armor top of our health after using our primary. We invested in armored vest, which gives us an additional 25 armor, and we invested in charge plating. Charge plating gives us, after we use our first ultimate, it gives us 25 bonus armor as well as 10% ability power. That's a nice juicy 150 at max 150 armor early game. Now, why is armor good against Zarya? Why am I investing in armor? Basically, this entire game, I'm going to be using armor. The armor core, right, is why it's called that. Armor is really good against beam weapon damage because it has a flat 30% reduction on beam, which includes Zarya's primary, which is really good because anything outside of beam, it basically just essentially it just reduces each shot by like 7 damage in essence, right? There's more specifics to it, but it's not really worth chiming in about it. So here, let me give this I'll probably just end up regrouping this. We're close to our graph. Flat 30% flat reduction on armor against beam, which includes, you know, Mei, includes Zarya beam, it includes Echo's beam, all that good stuff, which is really strong compared to like the 7. It's basically just 7 damage reduction for anything that's like over 14 damage. It's real goofy. I'll put the details of how armor works in the video so you guys can see it up on screen because it's a little weird to describe just while we're playing. But just know that armor is really strong against Zarya. Really strong against Zarya in creating damage mitigation as you do it. So we're going to be investing a lot into that this game. So we'll talk more about that as we keep playing. So again, I'm just kind of acting as a second tank right now. I'm playing the objective. I maybe play near my Zarya, but I'm really looking to match the enemy Zarya as much as possible so I can take the pressure off my Zarya, so I can really distract her to waste her utility on me because I can survive through a lot of it. You can see I'm really not taking that much damage through this Zarya beam because the damage reduction from the armor is so efficient at countering that. So this is why I kind of really only use this for Zarya, because it's a very specific purpose. You'll see that we're literally just matching the Zarya. She's having a tough time really running this down on us because we're just living. We're living a lot. Huge grab though. She might be able to win off this. Let's see. Let's see. They might. I don't know if they get res off. Let's live for a little bit. Yeah, they get res off here. So they might end up winning this one. Okay. Close round though. Close round. So you can see how effective armor is, at least at contesting Zarya. So instead of investing in like damage like you normally do with Mei or some kind of like AP or something, all of that charges up Zarya a ton. It makes her really effective really quick. So what we're doing is basically just reducing the amount of options that she gets to charge up on, and we're also pressuring her so she has to address us and waste her bubbles on us instead of using it on teammates or taking the damage elsewhere. So we're basically just negating Zarya is what we're doing, which in essence will give our team an advantage in the game. So good first round. I think you guys can really see like how effective that was, as we were just like facing Zarya like right up there, and we were just chilling out, right? She was freaking out, dude, trying to get around that. So we're going to keep doing that, though. We're going to keep investing in the armor. We're going to get vitality. And we're going to slap on Crusader Hydraulics. It's going to give us some extra armor on top. And it says while you have armor, take 10% reduced weapon damage, which means you get an additional damage reduction on Zarya's primary, secondary, and just globally across any weapon damage that you receive from the game. We're going to grab one more thing. Let's just fill it in with maybe some... let's fill it in with some field rations just to get some more life, because we will be playing the objective quite a bit. Now, that's not a... Field rations is not something I recommend in this build. We just had a little bit more money to throw at it. So, all right, let's get it. Let's turn this around. So again, we're looking to pressure the Zarya. Now, again, we can't just play out in the open. Like, we can't just do whatever we want, right? We're not unkillable. So we'll still play our corners. But right when the fight starts out, Zarya will try to get up in here. Looks like she might have even invested in Codebreaker. She's going to take us down quick, actually. Rotate back here. Do a little bait. There you go. So basically, we just wasted Zarya's time the whole time. Let our Zarya cook on their backline. Uh-oh. I don't know if that was a great res for them. We can just break bubbles. Just break bubbles. Break them, break them, break them, break them, break them. Cool. All right, very nice. I think she might have invested in... No. Okay, she's got Nebula Conduit. Okay, interesting. All right, 55. We're just on track with Zarya for grab freeze. Remember, that's our big econ. If you have a Zarya on your team, I always recommend trying to make sure you have freeze for grab. It's a guaranteed fight win, so I love having it. Weird wall. Did not mean to do that one. But we'll take it, you know? Get value where you can. All right, so I'm going to push up here a little bit. Start pressing the Zarya. Keep making sure I get more of my frost armor if I haven't maxed out on it yet. Which I obviously have not. Okay, I'm just going to live. Wall this off. Separate the Zarya. We can pop these bubbles. I think she's down, so... I don't know why the audio cue's all messed up. You can see the amount of armor we have right now is a little ridiculous. Especially for second round. It's a little ridiculous. So we're distracting the Zarya, forcing her to use her beam on us. And in essence, we're then eliminating the value she get like on our Zarya or on our backline. We're basically just reducing the amount of value their team's getting by existing. Which is why I kind of said this is like a weird way. Like, this is more of a high level concept. Which doesn't mean anybody can't get it. But if you're struggling with it or you don't understand what I'm kind of talking about, feel free to comment below. I'll try to describe what I'm talking about as much as possible in the comments. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments to explain what I'm talking about, how it works, and everything. So again, at the core of this build is armor, right? So now we're kind of getting to the point where you kind of understand we're building into armor. This will be basically what we're doing up until round 5, and then round 5 we're going to be building more into essentially damage reduction overall outside of armor and self-heal, just to basically just be a tank, which we will. It's kind of insane. All right, so coming up on to round 3, we're going to be grabbing Boulder. Now Boulder's kind of weird. Why we're grabbing this, essentially Boulder has no health pool. We're going to grab some stuff real quick so we don't run out of time. We're going to sell this. We're going to grab Iron Eyes. It's going to give us a little bit of reduction on crit hits. Plasma Converter is going to go to Techno Leech just to upgrade our... And I think that's all we can grab right now. If you're facing off Zarya, you're noticing that you're getting a little bit pressured. You're low on HP. You can use that block to block a lot of damage for your team and to get out. This is just more of our tankiness that we're investing in into the quarter. So remember, we're not using this to boot things. I know a lot of people like to run the Boulder to like run into stuff. We specifically do not want to run into stuff because we don't want to charge Zarya bubbles. So we're basically just using it as a big shield. It's like an unbreakable shield. Remember, don't shoot the bubbles unless we plan on killing. Drop that wall, trying to wall her off there. And again, we're just going to use this to kind of take some space. Block for our Zarya. She goes down, unfortunately. Building up our frost armor. Getting the Zarya real low. You can see we're just about... I mean, when Zarya's pressuring us like that, one-on-one, man, we just don't go down. We don't go down. Because that armor, as long as we're feeding it with our self-heal, our life steal that we have, as long as we're feeding it and keeping it up, Zarya's gonna have a really tough time getting us below our armor. Remember, as long as we have armor, we're taking a ton of damage reduction. So our Zarya is kind of getting melted here. I might even use the coulter to push the enemy Zarya in a little bit. Maybe block for the Mercy. That's huge value there, actually. And I think she's down on some. I think I'm gonna go down. Now, win or lose, like we always do these, as long as we get to round 5, I will be posting this video. So if you guys are watching this, I might win, I might lose. The real thing is that I just show you guys how this works and why it's effective. Like what I say every time I've ran this against Zarya, the effectiveness it has is just insane. It feels like, just run it. Just try it against the Zarya one time. You'll feel exactly what I'm talking about on how much value we get from just being essentially unkillable against Zarya. Specifically Zarya. Now you can take this build. You can take this build into against other tanks as well. It's not going to be as effective. It's still kind of effective if you're finding that you're struggling to live and you're playing a little bit more aggressive or just tanky like. Armor is a pretty solid bet for a lot of things. I wouldn't really run it into like Reinhardt. I would definitely run it. I wouldn't mind running it into D.Va because that pepper, right? Those tiny shots that she does, armor's really good at mitigating all those tiny shots. But I wouldn't really run into Reinhardt. He's got pretty good burst damage. Junker Queen's kind of weird as well. Don't know how I feel about that one. See if we get anything here. So we're just trying to live. And we can probably just pressure the Zarya out. Might be able to win this, actually. Yeah, this is huge. So we do have to hit a checkpoint here. I think that was everybody. Gonna make sure I stay on here. I think the Freya might touch. Yep. And not enough, though. Close, though. Very close. So if you keep an eye on while we're playing this, kind of our HP as we're moving, you'll see how the when we're facing off with Zarya, how armor works is that any of your armor does the damage reduction. The moment your armor is gone, it's just normal health. You no longer have your damage reduction. So we really need to make sure that we're staying in armor is essentially what we're trying to do against Zarya. Because as long as we're in armor, we have 30% reduction against beams. And we have some reduction against everything else, essentially. But we also have an additional 10% reduced weapon damage while we have armor. So it's really important that we stay in this top half of our health bar while we're playing to make sure that we have that global damage reduction. And we're going to keep building into that. All right. So round 4, we're going to be buying some more stuff. We've already got our Techno Leech. We're going to be replacing Armored Vest with Mei Sickle. This essentially is just going to be giving us more time in our Cryo Freeze, 25 additional health, but this just gives us more time in the block. It's basically just unlimited damage mitigation, damage block that we can do. So I like investing in this for a little bit. We do get rid of Mei Sickle later, but for right now, I do like this better than Armored Vest. This is going to give us more mitigation, having 25% more time in the block. We have a little bit more. So I think what I'm just gonna grab something random here, just because we're a little bit out of time. We're gonna have the Mecha Z series instead of oh, did I replace that with our lifesteal? See, this is why I struggle to talk about builds while I'm doing it. Yeah. Oh no, we got Techno Leech. We're fine. As long as we got our lifesteal, we're good. All right, so let's do this again. Okay, so we're gonna match our Zarya here. We're looking at her again. Our job. Just pressure Zarya. If we can kill her, great. But we're just trying to make sure she can't do anything. You can see she's already trying to ignore us. She's kind of figured out that her shooting me doesn't do anything. So she's already trying to ignore me a little bit. We're going to keep running this down a little bit. Again, I don't really need to kill anything. I just need to make sure I pressure out bubbles like that, and then I wave. Okay. Now we're just having a little bit of fun. I'll build on my frost armor. Cool. All right. First point's down, unfortunately. 64% though. We're looking pretty good. Now, as you can see, like I said before, even though it looks like we're doing a lot, we don't have that many credits. And that's because we're not building much into weapon damage. And we're playing into a Zarya. So our credits are going to be low. I think we have the lowest on our team. Almost. We almost have the lowest on our team. It's going to be like that. Whenever you run this build, it's going to be, you're going to have low credits. So we've kind of adjusted for that in our build guide. for like the lower credit amount. We don't have anything crazy on here. That's something you're gonna just kind of have to get used to. We'll see if we can hold this one here. Take a little bit of space. You can see we're doing that mitigation now. I'm gonna drop my freeze. Might be able to get something with this. We do not. I think that might just be the end there. I think our Zarya is struggling a little bit here. So I might be able to roll to point. Let's find out. I'm rolling. Another great thing about Boulder. Free touch. Oh, I got booped off. Shit, my bad. All right, so we are on to round 5. We're now going to be changing some stuff here. A little bit changing stuff. We're going to get twice as ice. This is just going to give us more instance of wall, which is really good against Zarya to make sure we can wall her as much as possible without feeding her, right? So twice as ice gives us another instance of wall after we use cryo. Great for survivability. Just again, kind of where we're going with. Now we're going to start upgrading some stuff. The America Fusion Drive. America Fusion Drive. We'll keep our Techno Leech. We'll keep our Vitality, Crusader Hydraulics. Also, we have Iron Eyes. And then Maysicle. I don't think we can upgrade anything yet. We cannot. So we're going to be holding on to that. So basically, we just upgraded Techno Leech to... Or sorry, not Techno. We grabbed Blue America Fusion Drive. So it's going to give us some more armor. And it also refunds our armor when we use abilities. So it's why we kind of have like... It's built so essentially we have more instances of wall. Anytime we wall, we immediately get 50 armor healed back on top of it. So it's going to increase our survivability a little bit. Okay, so we're looking for the Zarya. I'm gonna look to match her. Try to separate this so we can focus. Yeah, it looks like I might have broken the hit rig. Refreshing Zarya. She can go down here. We're feeding our frost armor and our lifesteal, right? We're just trying to make sure we can live here. As long as we're shooting, we're living. Okay, we wait here. Get a nice cheeky wall here on Zarya. Maybe push her off the map. Oh. She's flying now, man. She is flying now. So we're essentially just taking the role of tank right now. Our Zarya is still coming back from spawn, so we wait here for a sec. Off the Zar. She's not going anywhere. We'll block that with our ball. That's huge. That's huge. I'm gonna rotate back. Our wall. She's basically charged right now, so we can just farm bubbles now. My team is kind of just shooting them, so I might go down. I think I do, yeah. Huge grab. Okay, coming back. A little bit of a speed boost from our Coulter, right? I'm gonna drop this here just to pressure. Kind of a bad freeze. That's actually a terrible freeze. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna be able to touch. So, yeah, I was just trying to get the freeze off to try to give us some space to touch, but we'll take that round. But we bring it back. This is when we start investing a little bit more into survivability. So we're gonna be grabbing, we're getting rid of Iron Eyes at this point. We're going to be going into survival, and then you're going to look for, I hope I pronounced this correctly, Ogundimu reduction field. This gives you 50 armor, and when you take damage, you gain 0.5% damage reduction for 1 second, stacking up to 20 times. The nice thing is, if Zarya shoots you for even like half a second, this immediately charges you up to those 20 stacks, so you'll get global 10% damage reduction for everything. Abilities, weapon damage, everything. 10% damage reduction on top of that, plus an additional 50 art. This is really good against Zarya specifically, because she basically keeps this up at full damage reduction all the time. We're gonna upgrade that. I don't know if we have enough to upgrade anything else. We do not. So we'll wait on that. I think Martian Mender, right, is 10k. Yeah, so looking pretty good there. But we got a little bit more damage reduction now, so we're just gonna be even more survivable. So we've got damage reduction upon damage reduction upon damage reduction, and we've got armor upon armor upon armor. So we're basically really turning in the tank. 537 we start. You'll notice we get our frost armor from our primary. Should be at 637 ish, a little bit above 637. is what our max HP should be. But we'll have that additional health as well. So round 6, rocking 6, almost 6, about 650. So that's our bubbles. We lose our Juno. So again, we're just matching this Zar, and our team is struggling. So you can see we're already at 20. So we'll lose this first fight though, unfortunately. We'll go to the next. Not much we can do about our team dying, but we can do our job. Remember, our job is to distract that Zarya as much as possible. You see this soldier's kind of carving through our armor right now. That's because his damage doesn't get the flat damage reduction. So he can really farm up through that real quick. So we're at our 20% damage reduction. We're still struggling here. You do below. So we're a little deep here. Our team's backing up. He moves out. Man, she's just not going down right now. I think our Zarya is just struggling big time. Resist to live. Woo, buddy. All right, 50 more seconds. Yeah, I think our Zarya is just struggling. I guess we're all struggling. Oh, if we get a touch. No, we're cooked, man. We are cooked. I'm out there, though. We touch this. We touch this. We touch it. All right, so unfortunately, we do take the L. But I hope you guys can see, especially if you guys are playing and you're noticing that you just can't do anything against Zarya. I hope you guys were able to see how much value we were getting by pressuring that Zarya, essentially acting as a tank. Unfortunately, the rest of our team was getting destroyed. But if you're ever struggling to run into Zarya with the build, this armor build I've found has been really, really effective at pressuring, creating value on your team as you play. Check it out. Literally try it out in your games, and you'll start to see that it actually does generate quite a lot of value. But if you have any questions about the builds, what they do, why they work, feel free to let me know in the comments. Check it out. I also have the pocket guide available for you as always on this build. I'm gonna wait here for a sec. Ooh. Excuse me. Ow. But Zarya is actually kind of going crazy right now. Wait, pause. Pause. Oh, the boop. Thank you. Where's that? Oh, it's that Zarya. Ooh. Cool. Be careful. Yeah, bud. Wrong wall. We're gonna chill here for a sec. That's personal. That is so personal. Cool. We'll take an early one. Okay, so we got our armor, frost armor. We're gonna be building more into vitality. Can't even get any more than that. Since we got the lifesteal, let's up the damage a little bit. All right, let's pressure the Zar. Cook him. Ooh. Huh. Oh. Oh. I'm living. All right, that's a lot of ults. We might have. Oh, oh, oh. John, I think that was a lot of ults. Huge. Wow. Huge. No, we're kind of cooking. We're putting so much pressure on him right now. It's crazy. All right, chat. What's next? Golder. And then we start upgrading to probably replace some of these with Crusader Hydraulics. Make sure we grab that. Replace Plasma Converter with Techno Leech. Let's grab the Shield Buster so we can kill Zarya after. So essentially right now we have Armored Vest, Charge Plating, right? Armor, extra armor, armor reduction, Lifesteal, and then we have Shield Buster, which is going to make it a little bit easier to kill Zarya once her bubbles are down. It's all right. We're going to wait for bubbles to be done, and then we shoot Zarya, lay into her a little bit until she forces out another bubble, then we stop. Unless we're planning on killing her. Unless we can pop it and kill her. Yeah, we don't shoot those bubbles.
10 seconds until the objective's unlocked.
And we're chilling.
The objective's live.
Yeah. Ooh. Beautiful. God, that deflect on the beams. Juicy.
And they take the objective.
Ooh.
Moving up to objective C.
I like for this to go a little bit longer. I'll take the dub though if we get it.
The objective goes live.
Oh man, I went down quick. Yeah, I'd like to see this going around 7. This would be a fun one to narrate.
No, they lost the point. They're falling back to objective B.
Ooh. I don't have anything for it yet. Drop that. Oh shit! I might have just blocked our own grab. Let's cap. Shit, we pushed way far out. I'm actually gonna push up here.
Over here. And I'm on fire.
So we're doing something a little goofy here. I'm trying to force out abilities as she gets there.
Don't let the wings fool you. This angel packs a punch.
They don't have any res, so we should be fine. Well, I think that might be it. Chad, I think we bullied him a little bit. Not the mercy. Not the mercy. Yeah, I won 100% blocked. I 100% blocked that. Also, the fucking Barbie blaster was crazy. Thanks again for checking out the Armored Core build. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. Would love to hear your feedback. Remember to drop a like on the way out, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye.